And good morning, Central Coast. That was Beyond This World by Shonlock. You are joining us here at Rhema CC. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. I'm Lindy. I'm your Sunday morning host here at Rhema. And as I said, I do hope you're having a beautiful one. I can't tell you what I was doing here, well, this time 5 years ago. Let's have a look. You know, if we think backwards, 5 years ago today, what were you actually doing? Can you recall that? My husband would say that I am pretty detailed with the memories that I have, things that I can recall that he can't recall. It's one of those weird things. He's not real good with remembering things. Hang on 2 seconds. You might be able to hear a little voice there. But yeah, I tend to remember dates quite easily and what that actually involved for that date. He, on the other hand, is not so much like that, but I have a feeling that he's likely to remember what was happening for us this time 5 years ago. This time 5 years ago, I was sitting in the hospital. I was being taken in to be induced with our youngest little man, and we were getting ready to meet him. The world was crazy. It was a crazy, crazy time, yet I had no idea. I think I was just in this really weird place of being so close to having a baby that I could not comprehend what was actually going on. I knew for the previous couple of weeks that everyone around me was quite stressed. I didn't really understand why or what was going on. I think I had sort of shut off the news. I wasn't really paying attention to the world too much. I saw things on social media and friends that they were posting certain things, but it didn't really click with me what we were about to enter into. And here we are 5 years on. We went through, as a society, went through some big stuff. It was a crazy, crazy time 5 years ago, and it all started around exactly 5 years ago. I remember sitting in the labour room after being, had my waters broken and all that sort of thing, and just waiting and just hearing the conversations amongst midwives about what they were doing with their kids. Were they going to take them to school? Should they take them to school? Will there be staff available to them? I remember seeing hospital staff wearing clothing that I had never seen before, never anticipated that full, head to toe covering of, it was a very surreal and very strange experience. I remember thinking, I don't know why you're doing that. I can't comprehend why I can't see you and why you've got this covering over your face. I can't quite get it, but I had just detached from the world in the weeks prior to having my littlest munchkin, and it was actually a good place for me to be psychologically. Now we fast forward 5 years, and I have someone that is going to actually help me today. He's going to talk to us about what life is like as a 5-year-old. Post-COVID, he doesn't realise that there was a time that it wasn't COVID in the world. He was born amongst it. I do apologise for that. That was my phone going off again. But I thought this morning, hey, let's do things different. I was kind of wondering what we should do this morning, and I thought, you know what, it is a special day because 5 years ago today, I had a little man that was getting very, very close to entering the world. I was sent in, as I said, to be induced on the 23rd, but he was born at 12:06 a.m. on the 24th, so he held out a little bit too long, if you ask me, but what a delight he is. And I have asked him to actually join me today. So, Ari, would you like to say hello to everyone?
Hello.
Hey, good job. Now, you're going to be a birthday boy tomorrow, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow you'll be a 5-year-old. It's crazy. What's happening for you? Let me ask you about your party. What are you looking forward to doing it with your friends at your party? What sort of things do you think would be good fun?
Playing games.
Yeah, that would be great. Have you got any particular foods that you're looking forward to having? Or it doesn't really matter. Oh, cake is always good for birthdays, hey? Do you think being 5 will be different to being 4?
Yes.
What do you think is going to be different?
I will think different things.
You think different things? What sort of things do you think?
I'll know more equal classes.
Oh, like at school you learn some different things? Yeah, that's a really good... I like that thinking. You're probably right. You're going to learn more and more throughout the year, aren't you? So you're 4 right at this very second, but before too long you're going to be 5. Do you think you're going to grow lots too? You think so? He's shaking his head, nodding his head, I should say, not shaking his head. He's nodding his head, and he's kind of got this look like, yeah, you betcha, it's going to happen. I'm very excited about this. Now, the reason I think I asked Ari this morning if he would like to help out with something a little bit different and help me on radio is because I think it's so important for us to be aware of where we've been as a society. I think the last 5 years have been very chaotic in a lot of ways, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. There's been a lot of questions asked. We've all been, doing the ups and downs and the turbulence to stuff. We've all been in a place where we have been forced to question directions. For some people, it's meant a whole career change, really. It's meant a whole lifestyle change. I know people have moved interstate. People have moved internationally. They've made big calls. There've been major shifts in terms of even financial decisions. There may be things that have taken place that they otherwise wouldn't have without having experienced the craziness of COVID 5 years ago. And the pandemic that was just something that none of us really could have prepared for. But I wanted to bring light to the fact that here we are, 5 years on, and I've got a little guy that every single day of my life reminds me that it wasn't so bad. And I smile greatly when I think of how special, even though I think I was in a little bit of denial amongst it all, I was not ready to become a mum again. I was kind of overwhelmed when I first had him, but my goodness, what a delight he is. And I think that today is a great opportunity for us to just sit back and remember that we've absolutely had a journey as individuals and as a society, but we've got so much that we can look at and go, my goodness, if that hadn't have happened, would the rest of my journey have continued the way that it has? Have things been good? Have there been good changes in all of it? I think we often realise that sometimes the hurdles that we endure are actually for a greater good. And I look at him every single day of my life and I think, my goodness, I had not planned on having a 7th baby, but he just is a delight. He can push buttons, certainly, but my goodness, he's the sweetest little thing. And yeah, it's a good time for us to remember today, 5 years on, we did it. We managed to get through it as a society. We can wear that sort of badge of honour to say, yep, we got through that pandemic. It was crazy, but we did do it. And we did it together. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there for a bit. We're going to see you before too long. Ari's going to come back and chat with us some more. And we are looking forward to having you. I'll see you soon. And welcome back, Coasties. That was Shackles Praise You. And you are joining us here at Rhema CC. Hope you're having a beautiful one. Yeah, Sunday mornings. Can you believe it? We're here again? I can't believe it myself. I happen to be recording from my home this morning, so I do apologise if you hear a few noises in the background, all that normal housey stuff. I have family, I have people, I have things happening, so it probably sounds like you're home if you're someone who has little munchkins around. It's probably very familiar in sounds, but there is a reason we are doing that, and that is because I have a little guest with me today. I thought it would be really special to introduce you guys to someone who I think is pretty fantastic. And I think he's pretty fantastic because he has lit up my life big time. Now, my little dude, his name's Ari. He's my youngest. He is going to be a 5-year-old tomorrow. He's having a birthday party this afternoon, and it's going to be really, really cool. Yeah, and he's going to have a pirate theme. How cool is that? So the reason I've got Ari here this morning, he is bouncing around. He's very excited by the idea. But the reason I thought would be good to have Ari included this morning, he's been very brave, is because he, as I have mentioned several times, he was a bit of a COVID baby. When I say bit of, I mean he was literally born as it hit. And 5 years ago today, I was sitting in the hospital room looking up TV screens and seeing the first of what became, felt like months and months of those news reports where you've got all the different premiers meeting up each day to tell you what's happening. And, it was the beginning. It really was the beginning of all these weird things. And it's strange how you have these memories, but I remember being in the big baths that they have at the hospital and just kind of sitting there watching this news thinking, how long is this thing going to last for? And, it was a bit strange, but I also didn't have that panic that it seemed like everyone around me was having. It just felt like, okay, I don't know what this thing is. Everyone's acting weird, but you know what? I'm about to have a baby. And one of the hardest things, I think, for those of us who did bring life into the world amongst that is that we couldn't share this special moment with the people we loved. So I think it's kind of special today, 5 years on, to be able to spend some time with my little man and celebrate him in what I would think is kind of an extra special way. We want to make sure this year, especially 5 years down the track, he's a big school kid. He's just started school, so he's got lots of new friends at school, but really celebrating him and how far he has come. We all experienced loneliness in a different way. I think through the whole COVID stuff, some of us were literally just shut off from the rest of the world. Some of us, we had no one that we could contact. Some of us were going through things that, illnesses that couldn't get looked at, or there was just the insecurity of, where's the finances going to come from, all that sort of thing. How do I keep myself afloat? Does this mean I'm going to lose my house? Like all these stresses that initially we were all trying to process. And yet, I look at Ari and I think, yeah, it was not nice coming home from hospital and not being able to show him off like every other baby, because he was a really special gift to our family. So that was hard, but he is such a delight that I'm every day I'm looking at him thinking, as a mum, I'm so thankful that amongst all that darkness, there was these little rays of sunshine that God gave us. I'm sure you guys can identify it too. There's things along the way that you probably thought, oh, there's some good in that. That was really hard, but there was some good in that. And I thought today's a good day to highlight that. 5 years down the track, I'm sure you guys can look back with a mixture of emotions, different feelings, different thoughts on what happened back there. But I'm sure that there's also the flip side of that, and you can see that He didn't leave you completely. And He still hasn't. And we're 5 years down the track. I don't think we're all completely back at normal. I think we're still working out what normal is. But we've learnt to adapt and to bounce back as much as we can. And we've done that with an understanding that, really any moment things can be pulled from beneath us, and what we have our hands on and the control that we think that we have, it can be ripped from beyond us or before us or even beneath us. But God is still in control. And I think it's really cool to look at the things in our own lives that have given us hope in the 5 years. So Ari, you want to sit up for me? He's just rolling around, so I do apologise for that, because he's going to be a birthday boy tomorrow. He's got too much energy. So Ari, can you tell everybody what you think will be the difference between being 4 and 5? You said before you think you're going to learn more at school. Do you think that you are going to, what sort of things do you think you might be able to do as a 5-year-old that you couldn't do as a 4-year-old? Are there different sports or crafts or things that you think you'd like to do?
I don't know.
You don't really know? It's a hard one, isn't it? That's a bit of a hard question to answer. Do you think in our family, do you think you're pretty special? You do? He's nodding with a big smile on his face. What do you think makes you so special? You don't really know. Do you think you're funny?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're pretty funny. Do you think you make people laugh?
Yes.
Do you think you make people smile?
Yes.
Do you think you give people awesome hugs?
Yes.
Oh, I think so, in all those things. Do you think that we're very, very lucky to have you?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I think the same thing. So it's really cool, guys. I know that every child is a blessing. Every single kid, whether it's our children, our own children, our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews, they are a gift. They're a blessing. And I don't know, you guys might be going through a bit of a rough patch at this moment. I don't know what is happening in your world or in your life, but I just want to say that if you happen to be in a situation where you're feeling overwhelmed as a parent or as a grandparent, or if there's little people in your life you are worried about, I can honestly verify that prayer is such a powerful thing. If you're feeling overwhelmed with your ability to be the kind of parent that you need to be, I have to say that God's got you. I know for myself, I was well and truly feeling overwhelmed when Ari was on his way into the world. I was beyond, I've mentioned it here quite a few times before. I just didn't know where I was going to go with it. I'm like, oh my goodness, God, 7 kids. Are you serious? How am I going to do all that? But he has proven that he's a God who instills all the things that we need. And he blesses. My goodness, guys, he blesses. I'm so thankful for this little guy here because he really has been the laughter in our family. He's been the smiles. He's been the little rat bag comments at time to time. And he's just been what our family needs. So if you are having a bit of a rough time, careful, gorgeous boy. Yeah, can I just say, we've got proof, the last 5 years especially. Look back, look at what you've seen, what you've experienced. If you're feeling overwhelmed with your responsibilities as a parent, maybe you're actually in a role that's a school-type role. Maybe there's children in your world that you're worried about from a teaching perspective or similar. You're a blessing to them as much as they're a blessing to you, but you are a blessing to them. Anyway, guys, I just want to encourage you with that. We'll be back soon. I'll speak to you soon. And welcome back, Coasties. Hope you are having a super duper fantastic morning. Welcome to Sunday mornings. Welcome to Rhema CC. I'm Lindy. I'm your Sunday morning host here, and I'm so thankful I get to do my Sunday mornings with you. Hope you're having a beautiful one, as I said. We were just listening to Beauty in My Praise. Almost got that wrong, by Amanda Jansen. And there really is beauty in praise, isn't there? I don't think we think about that enough. There is something about, that shift of being thankful and finding the beauty in all the tough stuff, which actually happens to be going hand in hand with what we're talking about today. Guys, we are looking at 5 years. 5 years from today, we are... No, I should rephrase that. 5 years back from today, not from today, back from today. We were all in this crazy, crazy season of entering what we now know to be the COVID pandemic. And what a crazy time that was. You can probably hear my little man in the background. He's helping me today because he is a 5-year-old as of tomorrow. So I thought it was quite appropriate to invite him in here this morning to be able to talk to us about what it's like being a 5-year-old in a world that is post-COVID, post-pandemic. He knows no other way, really. He was born amongst it. He doesn't know that there was a time where there was no pandemic. And he doesn't know that, the world has shifted. The world is different. We've gone back to normal, but normal still looks different. As I said, he's going to be a 5-year-old tomorrow. Big birthday party happening this afternoon. He's very excited about that. Ari, would you like to say hello again?
Hello.
Oh, that's much clearer. That was a lot better. He is a kindy kid. He started kindy a few weeks ago and he's doing amazing. We're pretty proud parents. But having said that, as we were talking before, the beauty in praise, and you can probably hear him, guys. He's asking for a drink, so I'll need to jump on that in just a second because we're already losing him. But I think that he is proof to us as a family that there is always something to be praising God for. There is reason to praise, even when things looked really terrifying to the rest of the world. I can recall sitting on the lounge at home after I'd got home from the hospital, and it wasn't a fun time in the hospital. It was a messy situation. We're trying to get him here and end up in C-section, first C-section I'd ever had out of 7 kids. So it was a totally different experience to what I'd always had before. But yeah, it was different. It was lonely. It was isolating. I hated that I couldn't show him off because I'm like, my goodness, look at this little bundle of love. He's amazing. But he doesn't know any different. He knows no different. And my other kids really don't. They don't remember anything about when they were born either, so there's no competition there really. But for me as a parent, it was kind of like, oh. And I'm sure you guys have had similar experiences. I'm sure you can reflect back 5 years ago and think, yeah, things weren't normal. They were different to how we would like for them to have been. They weren't normal. They were just very, very different. And it's one of those things though, and I think they're still good. And my goodness, he is very, very good. I'm so thankful that we've got a God who knew exactly down to the timing of his birth. He knew what he was doing, It was a case of outside those hospital doors. I remember just sitting when I was having the C-section and just looking up at the clock and thinking, I thought this is meant to be quite quick, but it's, taking longer than what I thought. And there was a darkness in the room, but there was this real light as well. And I remember looking up and seeing this little tiny baby being lifted up above me, and my husband just going, "Hey Lindy, look, there he is." And I just remember seeing him going, "Oh my goodness, it's a little Zeph," which is our next kid up, but he's a lot chubbier. And he was a lot chubbier, but he's not so much now. But yeah, it was just this promise. It was this promise in that moment that God was saying, "I'm not done here. I know you guys are going to be walking out into out of this hospital room, this hospital facility, and you're going to walk into a world that is completely different. But I am not done. I am not done. I am still bringing life into this world. I'm still radiating light. And I am so thankful that every single day of the last 5 years, I've had that reminder to just be able to look at him and go, yeah, he is. He's proof that the generations still continue. We don't have to stop and just give up now. We don't go, this is it. Life is over as we know it. And yeah, we fight for our kids, don't we? We fight for doing better, for being better, for providing more, and for making the world as best as we can. You know, improving in whatever way we can, being mindful of their needs. And I think we've had a bit of a wake-up call. We realise that socially we need those connections that we probably weren't having before. We've realised that our health matters, that we need to look after ourselves. We've realised that, you know, finances can be stripped from us at any point. We've got no control really of any of it. Anything can come in and wipe up our houses. They can take out our bedrooms, they can take out the possessions that we have. It's been a bit of a shift. There's been a lot of things that have happened since our COVID experiences, in terms of just natural disasters and things like that as well. So it has been a very different world, but I think that a lot of people are searching, and I think they're searching for hope. So as we look back today, 5 years on, since things went AWOL and it went crazy, I hope and pray that you can reflect and go, my goodness, He did really lay that path out for me. That light was shining. I could quite easily see him, even if in the moment I couldn't feel him, I couldn't experience the genuine connection that I often crave or craved. He was still there, and he hasn't given up on us. He hasn't given up on us as individuals and as a group, as a society, as an Australian society, as a world. He has not given up on us. He's given us the promise of tomorrow through the children yet to come, and it is exciting. Anyway, guys, it sounds like Ari is very, very tired. It's hard being a birthday boy. It's hard being a 5-year-old almost. But we're going to skedaddle out of here for a few minutes, and I'll see you around, well, let's just say soon. I'll see you guys soon, okay? And welcome back, Coasties. Welcome back to Sunday mornings. You are indeed rolling out of bed on a Sunday morning. Perhaps you're climbing into your car. Perhaps you're climbing out of your car. I have no idea what you're actually doing, but I'm hoping and praying that whatever it is, you are experiencing the presence of God, because he has not left you. And that is what we are talking about here today at Rhema Central Coast. I'm talking about that presence of God, that with the awareness that he is in all things, even when things have looked a little bit rough or a bit turbulent or perhaps just dark. Now, we've talked about that a little bit over the last few weeks, really, but I didn't realise it was leading into today. And today happens to be pretty much 5 years to the day of things going completely crazy. I say that it's kind of, today was the day for me that I was taken in to be induced to have my baby, who is now not a baby, he's almost 5, to the hospital. And I was being induced with him. They were trying to get things moving because, well, he was not going to come on his own. That's just my kids. They always have to get forced out. They have to get evacuated. But anyway, but he was on his way out one way or another. It was going to happen. And he was going to be doing that amongst the craziness of this whole new thing called COVID-19. It was a bit of a surreal one. It really was. And I am so thankful. I can say this now. At the time, it was a bit insane to be having this baby amongst this really weird backdrop of everyone being in fear. I don't think the fear caught up to me until about probably 2.5, 3 years later. And then all of a sudden I just went, I can't deal with this. But that's a whole other story. In the moment, I was completely confused. You can probably hear him dancing around the background. He's having a lovely time. I was very confused by this thing that everyone else was very caught up in, because all I was concerned about was having my baby. Did not realise that meant that I was not going to be showing him off in that time, which I have always been able to do with my other kids. It was just a different season. It was a totally different experience. And yet, God was good. He brought me a beautiful baby boy who is healthy, who slid into our family beautifully, has been, embraced by all the kids, and he's just such a special part of our family. But my point here today, guys, is that we're reflecting on those things that were good from the stuff that was not so good. And Ari, I think you're one of those things. Do you think you might be?
Huh?
Yeah. What do you think is the most special thing about being the youngest in our family?
I don't really know.
You don't really know?
No.
Do you like it when all your sisters come and spend time with you? And they come home
Yes.
yeah. How about when your brothers play games with you and do things like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it's hard being the youngest? Is it really hard work?
No.
No? Do you get to be lazy as the youngest?
No.
He's got a cheeky smile on his face.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you think? Yeah. Do you think that mum and dad are probably, they probably let you get away with stuff like not the older kids would have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. You're pretty lucky like that, aren't you? One of my kids actually this week was looking at, I think Ari was asking about something he wanted, and I was just like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm like, whatever, in the scheme of things, this does not matter. So pardon?
I was.
You were?
Yeah.
You were. And I let, whatever it was, I think it might have been him wanting a yogurt or something simple like that. And
No, it was ice cream.
there you go. It was ice cream. There's some honesty for you. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. It just doesn't matter right now. And my 16-year-old piped up, and he certainly let us know that, hang on, that's not fair. And I'm like, mate, you're dealing with the oldest. I know what it's like to miss out, because, you realise that your parents got worn down kid by kid by kid. It just kind of was just like, we just got to survive. So there are times that I think that this little guy probably gets away with too much, but he's also, there's pluses and minuses of any birth order, I think, and there's things that he misses out on that my older kids would have, gladly been able to receive. Different experiences, that sort of thing. We all have pluses and minuses wherever we are in the birth order. But I think it's been very special to have a little guy who was born amongst COVID. So I want to ask you today, as you look back, the stuff that you went through yourself, your family, the stuff that was scary at the time, I want to ask you, how did God bless you through it? And I want to encourage you this morning to spend some time in gratitude for those experiences, because that is the heart of gratitude. It's being thankful even when we don't know how to be thankful. It is being thankful when we can look back and see that it was too hard to be thankful at that point, but that God's hand was in it, and that we are okay. And it is being thankful. It's being having a heart that's of gratitude. My little man's doing crazy faces at me, so it's making me kind of smile. When it's the heart of gratitude in all things. I think God is looking for. So today I want to encourage you, spend some time looking back and remember what the last 5 years have been like for you, for your family, for friends, for neighbours. It was tough, and I think it's really important to not live in yesterday and what happened yesterday, but I think that there is certainly an element of thanks that can be produced through understanding of where we've been, things we've endured, things that have happened. And Ari, you are one of those examples of being a little bright light amongst all the crazy stuff. What do you want to say this morning? Is there anything you'd like to say to everybody out there?
No.
Would you like to say, have a great Sunday?
No.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, he doesn't want you to have a great Sunday. Well, I would like for you to have a great Sunday. I'm going to be back before too long anyway. I'm going to probably leave Ari to go and do 4-year-old / almost 5-year-old things. But Ari, thank you for being so brave and coming to talk to us this morning.
You're welcome.
Oh, good job, dude. All right, I'll be back soon. Ari's going to skedaddle out of here. Ari, you'll say goodbye, everyone. Have a great Sunday.
Goodbye.
All right, guys, I'll be back soon, and Ari will be elsewhere. All right, see you soon, guys. And a big welcome back, hosties. Welcome to Rhema CC. Hope you are having a delightful Sunday morning. Guys, that was Before You by Landry Cantrell, and you, I'm hoping, enjoyed that. I'm Lindy. I'm your Sunday morning host here, and I'm chilling. I'm actually enjoying the Sunday morning. I'm being very, very, very thankful this morning. I'm in a state of thanks, and thanks for various reasons, but thanks for Well, let's just say I'm thankful for the fact that I'm grateful to be the mama of 7 kids, but in particular, I'm celebrating my youngest this morning because 5 years ago today, which was a bit of a crazy time for the whole world, and especially us here in Australia, we were sort of experiencing all sorts of interesting events as the pandemic crossed the whole globe. It was just kind of one of those things that swept from one place to the next. And Australia went down around this time 5 years ago. 5 years ago exactly this morning, I was in hospital. I've mentioned that several times this morning, but I went into hospital to have my little man being induced, and I assumed I was going to have him today, the equivalent of today, 5 years ago. But it turned out that he decided just to hold us off until 6 minutes past midnight on the 24th. So he certainly made me work for him, and he has been worth it ever since. He's just an absolute delight. But yeah, I think that experience shaped me in a lot of ways. I think there is an element of understanding that God works through the darkness. Sometimes the world can look dark, and yet He gives us these little glimmers of hope. Those signs or those wonders that make us realise that He's not done. He's not a God that's just over. He's not finished. He's a God who is still in the darkness. He radiates light. He is light. He's what we can move towards when things don't look good. He's a God of hope. He's a God of restoration. He's a God of moving forward, and that is to be celebrated. As I said this morning, I've had Ari with me. You may actually hear him from time to time, or one of my other like his sisters or brother, and I apologise for that, but I'm at home today, so I'm recording from home, and I think it's really special to be able to do that amongst my family. I think it's one of those things that every one of us, we've got family life, we've got things that happen beyond our work world, our connections to whether it's social activities or community groups. We've got family life. It's one of those things that we can live on our own, but we still come from a family of some sort. It doesn't matter if our parents are no longer here. If we're an only child, we did at some point have family. And this is the thing about the Christian faith, is that we are called to live like family. So I encourage you today, guys, keep an eye out on those who might be in a bit of a dark spot but don't have any biological family. Keep an eye out for them and be that little light that they might be needing today. Today might be a tough day for them. But if you can be what it is that we're called to be for each other, the light, the hope, the reflection of who Jesus was, who He is, the light that God offers, I encourage that. I really hope you can do that in some way today. A big happy birthday, obviously, to my little guy and to any other human beings out there who might be sharing a birthday this weekend or in the week to come. We've got reasons to celebrate, guys. Another sort of turn around the sun, if you like that. I guess that's a good way to put it. If we kind of look at the year that's gone, the years that have gone, there is so much to be grateful for, and it's a good reason to get up and be thankful. I'm going to leave it there today, guys, because, as I said, I'm sure it's a matter of time before you start hearing things in my background with little people doing little people things. I hope you're having a beautiful one. And as I said, we have been through some stuff. We've been through some stuff as a society, and yet we are still here. We're still on that uphill climb of returning to what we knew as normal. But there is hope, and there is hope in the fact that we can look at those babies beyond. Ari is an example of, he was one of the first to be a COVID baby plus, and the world does look different to them, but yet the world's still spinning. Jesus is not. He hasn't returned yet. We're still in this state of seeing God still move amongst us here on this planet at this time in this season. He's not done. He's a God who is still in the motions. He's still in the moment. He is still moving, and I'm thankful for that. I'm going to leave this week with actually a prayer. I want to pray for you guys, and I want to just give it all up to God, because we do claim and we do hold on to the truth that we are a station here at Rhema who value prayer. So I want to just make sure we close things off right today. So let me just pray for you. God, I just thank you that you are a God who is in the all of it. You know, you're in the darkness, you're in the light, you are the light, and you are what we can draw towards when things are not looking so great, or when they're looking messy, or when they're looking dull all around us. But I also thank you, God, for the hope that you restore in us. I thank you for the hope that you give us when the rest of the world is looking around in fear. And I thank you for people like our little guy Ari. I thank you for all the babies that were born amongst all the craziness of COVID, and the babies who have come since, and the babies that have reminded us that life is of value, that life is to be treasured, that life is something that is a blessing to parents, to sisters, to brothers, to aunties, to uncles. That new life is a gift from you. God, I pray for those in the moment this morning who are feeling overwhelmed with the parental responsibilities, or who are feeling overwhelmed with just trying to do family life. I pray for their heart, I pray for their mind, I pray for a sound mind, that they can be assured that you're in that, in the heavy stuff, that the days that are too hard, that you are the reminder that they need, that they've, that their plan is actually your plan, that your plan is their plan, and that together you can do life. And I just hope and pray that they can feel that, they can experience you fully, and that they are able to raise their children in the way that you want them to be raised, the way that they can be taught that there is hope through you. I pray for little ears to be open today, God. I pray for those who are children. I pray for them to be open to hearing you, God. You are a God of revival. And yes, we have been through some stuff as a society, but you're a God of revival. You're a God of bringing hope to the world. God, stir up this community, stir up these people, stir up those who are out there listening today to hear you, to know you, to follow through on the actions that you call us to. God, you are, as I've said, you are a God of revival, and I pray for revival in this community. I pray for revival across this state, across this nation, God. It's only through you that we can see the movement of the Holy Spirit. And so we call on that now. We call on you. We ask of you to be a part of such a special experience, to see you on the move, where life after life after life is touched by who you are. We are a people who love you. We are a people who want to serve you, and we want to serve you well. And we thank you wholeheartedly for what you have done, even in those dark days. Be with us, God, and to just offer those blessings to those who are needing just have that reassurance this morning, that you are a God who has not given up. You're a God who has not, you're not done. And I just want to pray for them specifically. Pray for with those who are unwell right now, and lay your healing hand on them as well, God. We thank you. Thank you wholeheartedly. I can't talk this morning, but wholeheartedly that you're a God who responds, and you love big time. Help us to love you in return, and to do it well. Amen. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I hope you have a beautiful day. Enjoy those blessings, especially the ones you've found over the last 5 years. All right, guys, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys here next week. All right, so long, guys.